Good morning. How are you?
Hello, Shabato.
Shavuot. Hi,
Hi,
Jerry. Hi,
Celeste.
Celeste.
Good
Hi,
morning.
good
How are you?
morning.
Finally, I know you personally. Half
Yeah.
personally, half personally.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for the job you are doing so well. So well, really.
Thank you. It's nice.
So we are waiting for Jerry, and then we
Yes.
will start. I
Okay.
made I made an agenda.
Good.
Uh, I need to share my screen. Well, I will share the screen later because I
Mhm.
think it's better to see everybody first,
Yeah, I think
and
so.
then I will share the screen. Do you see if it's recorded, Celeste? It is recorded?
Yes,
It's
it's
Okay.
recording
now
now, right?
record.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll record. I think Jerry is joining soon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you start with introducing yourself, Koti, and Jerry
Yeah.
also.
I think maybe you and Jerry
No,
and
no,
me just
I
first.
start, but then you continue.
That's okay.
Okay, and then we have an agenda, and we'll go in the agenda. But uh, the people in Australia, there are only three, so we will have time. So we will not
Yeah.
be pressed by time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
maybe they will speak more. Maybe we'll stop the meeting a little bit earlier.
Okay.
But it will be interesting to see the presentation part, not of
Mhm.
the people. If Celeste, you can clock when we present MFC and when we do those things. What does it say? MFC Global Facilitator Online. Meetup, Group 1 Australia, 5 minutes. It say I have to say start or snooze. So I start.
I actually sent an announcement on the Slack that we will be starting in the next 10 minutes. Send it earlier and also
Okay.
from to our members in the email.
Okay.
Will it
Starting
be together?
meeting with Australia, New Zealand, and Oceania in 5 minutes.
Hi, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
Boker
morning.
tov.
Hi, good
Good
Shavuot
morning.
morning,
Yeah.
Jerry.
Hello.
It's a nice surprise. I was not sure you will be able to come.
Oh, I thought I was already on, except I
No,
didn't.
you said you will not sure about the meeting on Monday.
No, what happened was I had a previous meeting on a product
Okay.
developing, and I had a cut about 10 minutes earlier than normally, but yeah, I'm fine.
Hi, Shiv. How are you?
Hello. Oh,
Hi,
still
Shiv. How are
connecting.
you? Shiv,
Hello, hello.
hello. How
How
are
are
Hello.
you?
you?
Hello.
You are in your
Just
car?
start my video. Yeah. No, I'll just start my video.
Ah, okay. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you all?
Very good. So you are in New Zealand, right?
Yes, yeah. I'm in Auckland, New Zealand. Yeah.
So we have Dr. Jerry Leisman, who is in Israel. We have Koti Atherin, who is in Madrid. And we have Celeste Cruz, who is closer to you because she's in Philippines.
Mhm.
And we are still waiting for
Oh,
your
okay.
colleague coming from Australia. This meeting will be
Okay.
much easier because you are only so far Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, three people. So, but
Okay.
the meeting in America will be 36, and the meeting with Europe, China, and so on will be 26, 28.
Okay.
So uh, and we start early with you. So what time is
Okay.
it for you in
It's 8
Auckland?
p.m. here on Monday.
Okay, great, great. So, okay, so I see that we have Angie joining us. She's in Australia.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Angie. We don't see
Hi.
you.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
We don't see
It's
you.
Good.
lovely to see you. Yeah, I'll just put my video on. 1 second. I've got a very
Ah.
bright background.
Yeah, now we can see you. What is behind you? Zillions of what?
Yeah, I
Zillions?
should probably change it. Oh, no.
No, what is it?
The Zeeland TV show.
Okay, you have a TV
okay.
show? You have a TV show?
It's coming.
Ah, you
I've
will
already interviewed my first guest.
you will tell us about it.
I
Okay.
will indeed. I certainly will.
So we are waiting for one more person, but maybe we don't because in 1 minute we will start. So you are in Australia, down under.
Yes, it's beautiful and warm here in Sydney, Australia. Loving it.
Okay,
Loving this warm weather.
next to you is Eve Kumar. He is in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Then
Hi, I'm in Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, fantastic.
above
Nice.
you is Celeste Cruz in Philippines.
Hello.
Then we have
Hello.
Koti Azorin who is in Madrid.
How are you,
Uh,
Angie?
Hi, really well. How are you?
And then we have Dr. Leisman, who is coming back in a minute. And well, we will see when he's coming back. I can messaging. No, we'll wait. We'll wait. So I was saying that this meeting will be pretty easy because you are only 3 in Australia, New Zealand, Oceania, which is a big territory, meaning we need your help to grow it because when we'll be doing Wednesday Europe, and after Europe we are doing Europe will be 28, and then
Wow.
in the afternoon of Wednesday we are doing North America, South America, Central America, will be more than 30, 35. So the screen will be pretty busy.
Mm.
So I see somebody is trying to come in. Somebody's, hello,
Hello.
hello, how are you?
Hi, Daria.
Uh,
Hi. Hi, everyone.
hello, where are you from?
Russia.
Russia, that's good. So you are joining a meeting which is fine, but this is a meeting for Australia, New Zealand, Oceania. It gives you opportunity to meet with them. Normally, the meeting for Europe is on Wednesday morning, and then we have Wednesday afternoon a meeting for South America, North America, South America, Central America. But you are welcome to join because that's what we wanted. We wanted to have the most members from everywhere to be able to gather. So the fact you are here is good. So Dr. Leisman is here. He's in Israel. Mrs. Aserin is in Madrid. Above you is Shiv Kumar in New Zealand. Angie is in Australia, and Celeste is in Philippines. And you are, Daria, in Russia.
Yes.
Okay, not too cold in Russia at that time of the year?
No, it's okay. Like -10.
-10. So,
-10 is okay.
It's a good weather for you. That interesting. It shows a perspective depend of the context. Okay, so I am Gerard Meyer. I am in Israel. and I am very honored to be your CEO. And I think you have been able to read about me, or we have been able to talk already. But I would like the other members of the group to introduce themselves. Koti.
Good morning, good evening. I'm Kotia Servín. I live in Spain, Madrid. After COVID-19, every one of you are invited to come to join me here to visit. This is a very special, beautiful city and country. I started my way in that pathway as a biologist, microbiologist, and after a few years of research in laboratories and with tissue culture and rats and mice, I discovered that my passion is work with people, helping people. And then I started with holistic medicine, kinesiology, traditional Chinese medicine, and then as a transformational therapist. This in parallel, it's more than 30 years, I'm helping groups, teenagers, couples, mature people about personal and spiritual growth. And for teenagers is growth in values. And in parallel is 13 years, Angie, that I'm having a TV show in the Spanish television.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And then is a few time ago, I found, I started knowing personally also Gerald, Gary, Robert, and the most I know this team, the most convinced I am that this is really a special and unique opportunity, because I see every day in each email, I can feel that they are 5 stars personally and professionally. So I'm very happy to join this special and unique project.
I have to say that Jerry and Koti are founders. Koti is the chair of all Spanish countries and Latin countries, and also Brazil. And Jerry is the chair of not only Israel, where I live, but he is the chair of science and academic and education. So Jerry, your turn.
Well, thanks for joining in. I'm so glad that we have this international meeting, and I guess I'm glad that COVID-19 gave us the opportunity to make this happen. It's always a good thing that comes out of something terrible. I was trained as in pediatric neurology, so kids, fetuses, mostly problems of pre and postpartum. And my problem with that, it goes back about 50 years ago. My problem with that was that basically one of 3 opportunities that I had to make a difference. Either the kid was born with static brain damage, in which case come back in a year and there's nothing I can do about it, and things are going to remain the same. Or, heaven forbid, child has some sort of seizure disorder, in which case they're one of 8 classes of medication that are given, in which case anybody can give it. Why should I? I mean, what makes me so wonderful here? Or third, heaven forbid, the kid's got some sort of tumor, metastatic process, in which case either the surgeon's going to take it out or the kid's going to die. So my field was about nothing. So I had a crisis of conscience of sorts. And what I decided to do is I did a PhD after that. By the way, I'm a Manchester graduate, University of Manchester in England graduate. And did a PhD in biomedical engineering and in neuroscience, fundamental neuroscience. And so that got me about 40 some odd years ago into the rehabilitation business. Rehabilitation is, so now that you have these problems, how can you design around it? So it got me to the point where I started saying, well, a lot of our fundamental understanding of how life works, that's end of life issues, it's beginning of life issues, have a lot to do with fundamental misunderstandings of how things work. So I'll give you an example. My mother was recently in hospital, and I met a neurologist friend of mine and had asked her, oh, by the way, what's the essential problem with Parkinson's disease? And she told me, well, they got walking problems and things like that. So I said, no. Walking is in the spine, it's not in the brain. How could they possibly have a problem walking? They have a problem thinking or putting walking together with the desire to go somewhere. I can fix that really easily, and I don't need your drugs. All they need to do is hold the cane, bang it on the ball of their foot, and then they will be able to get the feedback necessary to put two discrete systems together. I saw a Parkinson's patient in the hallway of this hospital. I said, give me a moment. Ask, could you volunteer for a second? And I saw the guy had gait freeze. And he did exactly what I suggested with his cane. He banged it on the ball of his foot. He had no problem walking. And the neurologist was beside herself. Because I realized that, A, there's a problem with fundamental misunderstandings, and they need to be educated out. And second, there are a lot of things that we take for granted and we assume. And that's in my business, which is, I'm a basic scientist, I'm a translational scientist. But in the day-to-day life, we have the same thing as well. There are assumptions that we make. There are things that we think they are the way they are, and they're actually not. So in order to really live in the world of intervention, and when I say intervention, I don't mean therapy. I mean, being able to impact on somebody else's life, being well. Well, in the medical world, you get to see patients when they're not well. In the psychological world, you get to see patients when they're having problems adjusting to the life around them. But for most of us life heathens, we really don't appreciate what we have, and we take the foibles and the trials and tribulations of daily life, and we take them seriously. And we don't kind of get that nothing, but absolutely nothing, remains the same. Everything changes as a course of life itself, and that essentially we have two options with anything that comes up with us in life. One is either to accept the way it is or to resist the way it is. Because if you resist the way it is the way it is anyway. And then what you're left with is resistance. Well, that's not a psychological issue. That's like an attitudinal issue. So we, at least I, in terms of my outlook on things, I'm less interested in, not in the work that I do, of course I'm interested in that. I'm more interested in looking at attitude as a way of being able to support effective living than I am about, well, let's talk about this for the next 6 months, a year and a half, or whatever, and see if I can get rid of your fear about getting into an MRI machine or getting into an aircraft. You can work through that, but what you can't work through that easily, and all the therapy in the world won't help, is taking a different attitude towards life. And that, for me, is the basis for creating an international society that deals with the issue of mental wellness as opposed to mental health. So that's mine.
Good. So I will finish to present our team, and then you present ourselves. Lower part, we have Celeste Cruz. Celeste Cruz is in Philippines. She's an engineer. She's a software engineer. She's a manager of the website. She's a manager of all our digital and publishing. Celeste, you want to introduce yourself a minute?
Hi guys. Yeah, I'll just introduce myself briefly. I'm from Philippines, and yeah, just like what Dr. Gerard said, I'm managing the online activities for Mental Wellness Society, as well as managing their website. Well, I don't have much to say regarding the studies regarding mental wellness, but yeah, little by little, uh, what I've read from you and from all your activities in Slack, I'm actually learning. So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay. Actually, if you have any complaint about your photo, the text which is going for your
Yeah,
bio,
come for me.
she's the one in charge, she's the one guilty. I see that Danilo from Italy is joining us. So Danilo, welcome with us. As I told before, your meeting, we hope to see you again on Wednesday morning because it's for Europe, China, and Asia. And Wednesday afternoon, it's for North America, South America, and Caribbean. But you are welcome to be in the meeting because that's a meeting to have the most people we can to meet. So it's nice you can meet with them. So I think now we should get Angie in Australia to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be here this evening with you all. My name is Angelina Zimmerman. I'm the founder of Zeeland Corporation. I actually started my career in human resources and very quickly realized I wasn't really helping anyone and got very upset realizing that. Anyway, long story short, I was asked to give a workshop, very impromptu, you know, like very little prep. Yeah, and it was actually a public workshop to make matters worse. So I didn't actually know anyone that was attending. So it was hilarious. But yeah, as a result of that one workshop, changed my life, absolutely changed my life, and fell in love with learning and development. And ever since that time, I've actually been training and coaching for over 10 years, probably close to 15 now, actually, showing my age. Anyway, I've been studying the whole time as well, alongside my work and all the work that I do with others and helping others. I'm huge, like one of my major priorities in life is definitely health and wellness. And so, you know, I'm the one always giving tips to other people around me around anything to do with health and wellness, basically. But I love what Jerry was saying and talking about people's attitude, but also, you know, understanding the power of the mind. And I know if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, that's very much what he talks about. So using, you know, things like meditation, changing our diet, exercising, all of those things come into play. But I think back to Jerry's point, it's all in the mind. You know, people every day are taking placebos and have no idea, yet they're getting better. So, you know, you tell me what's going on there. And so I'm fascinated to learn more about that. And I'm actually at the moment researching some neuroscience programs that I can study. So that's my next step in terms of learning. And then also alongside that, I'm actually a writer. I used to write for Inc.com in New York. And I also had my own podcast show for 4 years, which gave me the opportunity to actually talk to incredible entrepreneurs globally around the world about mindset and how they got to where they were, and they were able to share their success as a result. So I just absolutely love doing that. But having said that, I felt like this year I needed to make space for something new. New and exciting, hence looking at the TV show, the banner behind me there. That's what I'm looking at now, and interviewing guests around the power of the mind and neuroscience.
What is about your show?
Yeah, so interviewing guests around mindset, but going deeper into it and more those guests with expertise. Whereas before for my podcast, I was interviewing them and it was just more general, like in terms of sharing their success and how they got there. But this time around, I want to go more deeper into the brain and how it works and how people can actually use different tips and tools to actually help themselves, improve their lives.
So you will have a good candidate for interview, Jerry. He has created the brain.
Exactly.
He has created the Brain Institute in Israel, and he is involved in an institute also in Cuba. So he's one of the very few non-Cuban faculty in that there is, and so he will be a perfect candidate for you. What about Daria? What about Daria? Tell us about you, Daria, in Russia.
Hi, everyone. my name is Daria. I've joined Mental Wellness Society only recently, but I'm working as agile coach and also marketing leader. And as a coach, I know how important it is to care about the mental wellness of your coworkers, of your teammates, of your own employees. And we're spending incredibly many time at work, at least one of third of our days. So it is important to maintain and create a very healthy workplace for everyone, and to contribute to each other's growth, not only in terms of professional achievements, but also in personal achievements. So I'm here to educate myself and also to contribute, because mental wellness topic is not a very, it is not, we don't speak about it too much in Russia. Like going to psychologist is still a little bit taboo, and I want to help people to open up about it and to normalize talking about it.
Thank you. Actually, mental wellness might be easier to speak about mental wellness than mental health, because mental health is to address a problem or to maintain somebody, when mental wellness is to help to achieve a well-being. So it's different. Just for what you were saying, is very interesting, because you are in Russia. And next year, with Dr. Leisman, we have a big conference in Russia that he is organizing in St. Petersburg. The conference on, you can explain that maybe briefly, Jerry?
Well, we have a conference on movement and cognition. It's a science-based conference. About, I'd say, half of the attendees are bodywork practitioner types. The other half being translational scientists, but all have something to do with the interaction between movement and cognition and its applications in the school system, in aging, in dance, in sport, in rehabilitation. And that's going to be held, we hope, in September of 2023 at the Pavlov Medical University in St. Petersburg. Pavlov is significant because, we're going to be dealing with
the dog. The dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about you, Shiva?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Shiv Kumar. I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand. And I'm originally from India. I was born in India. I did my studies in India, and I worked in India for about 12 or 13 years before I immigrated to New Zealand in 1998. So my background is I qualified as a mechanical engineer, and then I worked pretty much most of my career in sales, marketing, selling, big capital equipment, standby power plants. And I also, after coming to New Zealand, I moved into operations. So basically just managing the operations of factories, warehouses, and so on. And so I had a 35-year-long corporate career. And it was in 2019 when I finally pulled the plug on my corporate career. I had been kind of wrestling with whether I should be continuing in that or not for about 4 or 5 years towards the end of my career. But I couldn't see any options. I didn't have any specific passion like a lot of people have, grow up wanting to be something and then they get forced into some other line of work, and then maybe later on in life they come back to their passion. And I I was not able to come up with any single passion like that, I could think about working in. So I had to basically go back to the drawing board and try and work out what is it that I would actually like to do. And that's when I started researching my own strengths, my own weaknesses, my values more than interests, because if I had to pick what my interests were, then they wouldn't really match with a specific career. I'm very interested, in cricket, which is a sport. I think Angie would know because she's from Australia. The others might not know.
I
but
do.
in my fifth, you do?
Visited England. We visited England.
Okay, yeah. All right.
We
see,
know a little bit about India.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, but I've always been interested in cricket, but then in my 50s, I can't suddenly decide that I want to become a cricketer. So I had to try and figure out what is it. Most of my research was around, okay, I had a 35-year-long career in many different areas of the corporate world. What was it about that career that I could pick and choose as stuff that I actually liked? Especially if I looked at my last, 5 years or so, when I hated my job, I hated going into work. Mondays were, my manic Mondays or Monday blues or whatever you want to call it. In the midst of all that, what is it that I like to do? So then I found that the best part of my jobs, any of the jobs that I was doing in the last 5-10 years of my career, was when I had to help someone in the team. If there was someone who had a problem, whether it was professional or personal, and I loved that whole process of going through trying to figure out what is it that the person is struggling with and how I can help. So that's when I thought, is there something that I can do where I can make that my career, full-time, trying to help people achieve what they want to achieve? And that's when I looked into coaching, life coaching. I attended a few seminars. I liked what I saw and heard, and then I went and signed up for a course. I qualified as a life coach. And at the end of 2019 is when I basically quit my job and started my own business. So I've been doing this for just over a year, and it's still early days. I think there are lots of challenges that I still need to overcome in terms of becoming well known as a coach. But I'm enjoying every day. I like what I'm doing. And this society I've joined very recently, thanks to Dr. Abraham, who got in touch with me. And I just thought, this is for me, firstly, it's a huge honor to be in the midst of people like all of you who are so incredibly qualified, so massively experienced in this field. And so for me, it's just like being in your company itself is making me feel, very enriched. So the more time I spend here, I think the better I'll get at trying to understand mental wellness. And my goal, if there's a dream that I have, it's that in most Western countries, this is applicable, but I'll just speak on behalf of New Zealand. There's this, great emphasis on health and safety in companies, right? There's a big departments, there's big managers and directors, all that sorts of stuff. But there are so many people at work who are going through so much of stress. And I don't think there's any importance at all given to that, because in New Zealand, there's this tendency of just saying, harden up. So if anyone says, you know what, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, they'll just say, oh, come on, harden up. So I think I would like to change that mindset that people have, that, stress is a part of life, stress is part of work. So you should just get used to it and carry on with your work. And there's another expression that's often used here. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So, it's effectively telling people, hey, if you can't do this job, just go and do something else. Get out of here and we'll find someone else to replace you. I just want to change that approach here. I want health and safety to include mental wellness as a general thing. It should be a standard. When they do performance appraisals, they only talk about all other things, but they don't talk about, what's your stress levels, how happy are you, and those sorts of things. It's never considered. So hopefully I can play a small role in trying to include that into the corporate world.
Very good. So there is two members in our society that you need to connect with. The first one is
Okay.
Denise Holland. She is in England, in Kent. She is our
Yeah.
facilitator in Kent because she
Yeah.
has been a national coach for
Yeah.
in England, and she's a coach for sport. Another one is France Dutch France is in Seattle, Washington, Washington State, Seattle, is a psychologist and coach for enhancement of performance for sportsmen. And on the top of it, he has some VR, virtual reality tool he developed to teach them to make better decisions in a fraction of a second to play better the ball. So with those two, you will have a lot of common that you want to apply with cricket. Okay, so I point those two particularly because they go well with what you do. And there is one person here, right here, who started his career in industrial psychology, industrial organization, and industrial and safety, me. So I can tell you how we moved from the poster of 50 years ago to where we are now. And what we do is I learned it, and I was saddened when I was working in health and safety because it was just full of air, and it was something to justify when the calamity come, to justify to the insurance we did what we had to do, so don't penalize us. And it stays like that still today. Then I moved to environment as an advisor to EPA, and it was like that too. So that's one of the reasons of creating this society, to change the mentality of the people. It's not changing the job station. It's not changing from your home to your job, which now, by the way, your job is in your home. But it's to be able to, it's the same software. And there is no difference from my research. We demonstrated that the way you drive is the way you drive your life, the way you drive your car. Or if I teach you to drive better your car, it will improve your life. We showed it. So it shows that it's the operator. On the car is a mobile job station. But it is the same. It's the same in the mind of the person. And by the way, too many people are doing things just with the brain by automatism, and not necessarily enough with the mind thinking. And that's exactly what we try to develop, the relation between mind and brain. So with that, I will share my screen and show you a few things on the screen. This is the agenda. So I want to share. Okay, so I will share a little bit in my screen. We have done the founders welcome. We have done introducing the Mental Wellness Society vision mission. I give you the short version because we have longer version on the website, but the short version is the Mental Wellness Society vision. We strive for a world where mental wellness is the foundation of success by persons, organizations, and society as a whole. So, and we have scientific journals which will be coming. The name of the journal is the Journal of Mental, Societal, and Global Wellness. So it's about wellness. The second element is our mission is to enhancing persons, organizations, societies to stay and be mentally well. And that includes to be happy. And that includes to enjoy life. And that includes to do the best with what you have, to be positive. So the Wellness Society is internationally united experts acting within the area of mental wellness service and research that are united in the making of a popular mental wellness global movement. We want to make it a movement, and that's where we need you all to help us to create that movement, because alone we cannot, and we have a strength. Now we are, I would say, in 2/3 of the world as a group already. And to promote mental wellness as something more valuable and sustainable than the current reactive treatment-based mental health scenario, which is to repair. And by the way, you know that to repair costs more than to prevent. So that's what we want to explain. So because you joined the Mental Wellness Society, we want to make you gift. So you will have welcome gift. Coming to you is Mind Focus coaching book of meta competence that you will receive. It is the same as this online learning program, and you will receive a PowerPoint with all the cards, our iconic cards. We have 80 icons. For example, the first one here is the past does not condition your future. And it's something very important because you need to look in the future, but you need to be in the moment. So there is 80 icons, and we are sending you the icons. Also, what we would like you to do is to take the test on the website, because we will comment to you. You will receive automatically a spread out, an automated system which will tell you what say your test. The test will look at different things. Do you procrastinate or not? There is 7 types of procrastination. It will tell you which type. Are you thinking with inattention or impulsivity or defiance? It will tell you what percentage. What do you have eventually which does not help you to be as productive as you would like? 3rd test. 4th test. Your health and wellness, because the health and wellness study research shows that if you have a low result in health and wellness, pretty much it will be more difficult for you to have a good grip on your cognition and to change. Because to change, the health and wellness, the fact you breathe better, you sleep better, all those elements are important. So you will receive access to that. You will also send to you, it's on the website, but we will make you a package where you have the 4th step for decision making in MFC, and explaining you in detail what is MFC. And I will come back to that. MFC is mindful choice. It's a choice coming from the mind rather than from the brain. A choice coming from the brain is a reaction. Flight, fight, freeze. A choice coming from the brain is an automatism. It's subconscious. When a choice coming from the mind, we try to teach people to make a better choice coming from the mind, a conscious choice. And this is what we try to do, which, by the way, you make 45,000 decisions in a day. How many do you remember? Not too much, because they are not made in a conscious way. So we try to help you to be conscious. Actually, we train people to think, and to think in a different way. We really help to think in a way where your emotion don't get in a way for your decision, because your intelligence is much bigger than your emotion. And if you free your intelligence, you are capable of having no limit in what you want to do. On the website, we help people to have more presence on social media. So we do posters. We have a certain number of posts that you can see. And if you click on them, you can put your own hashtag. So it's prepared. So you don't have to do the work. It's already prepared. You just put your hashtag and you will have something which vehiculate the philosophy of our group, but also that image being seen by more people who are putting it, posting it, increase the visibility not to you, but to everybody, but also to you. You will see your linking numbers going up. But we are now going in something else. We are asking the member to submit to us a text for the posting. So you just give us some bullet points. Celeste will come with some good image. We have a copywriter which will be writing the text. You will review it, of course. But we are asking all the members to do their own, to give us some bullet point, some orientation, because we want now the member to be involved in the creation of the poster, of the post, and your name will be there because it's a post made by any one of you. So we put your name. And for example, promoting the concept of the show that you are starting soon in Australia, that concept could become a post. So that will be a good way. Another thing we have, some of you are already there. We have a support group on LinkedIn. The support group on LinkedIn is you ask us to give you access. You contact Celeste or Giulietta or me on LinkedIn. Automatically, we put you on that group. It's a group which every day help each other to repost the post that you do, because the more people which repost, the more you get the algorithm to multiply your number, and you become more famous that way. So that's something we do too. So we are looking to expand the visibility of our group, our logo, our vision, our mission. But to do that, we want to do it through the members, helping the member to be more known. So we are not in it for us, but for everybody. And we try to be collegial in the way that we manage the organization, because we feel that we will succeed when it's like, when the tide, the water of the tide goes up, all the boat goes up. And we have the same philosophy. We want the tide to go for everybody. Some people will be cooperating with each other, one or two or three, for example, in your field for the sport. But we all try to cooperate on different projects and to help each other. For that, we have a platform of communication called Slack, and I encourage you to get in Slack and find your way either to communicate with one member personally or more, or on the general chat, or to get involved in the different initiative or project called the channels. So that's your for you. So now we are sending you those tools because the Mental Society is very much around the concepts that we vehiculate in Mindful Choice. We want the people to make choice made by their mind, and we want the people to be more trained about making choice. So we think that by giving you those tools, we will give them to you on, let's say, in 2 weeks, something like that. We would like to go to get your own appreciation of how you can think you can use the tool, how they are useful for you, what you don't understand. And then we would like to have meetings to help you. So we would like to have more meetings where we can be together and we discuss together how, as a group, we are evolving. But also part of it will be to be mentoring one of our 6 meta competence. And we have 6 big meta competence, which are really, really the core of what we try to do. I will explain you the meta competence in a minute because we have time. So how many, I would like to open the floor to all of you. How many times do you think you would like to meet together? Every 2 weeks, once a month? What do you think? I would like to know your opinion.
I would suggest once a month.
Okay. Angie is not here. Angie is here.
I would say the same actually. I think once a month is great.
Once a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay. So we do once a month, and we will do, or during that month, we'll do 1 hour. And there will be part of, if you have any question or anything you want to address for the group, that should not take more than 10, 15 minutes. And the remaining 45 minutes will be a masterclass about one of the tools. Knowing that in the meantime, you have any question, you contact me anytime, and I will be more than happy. Or you can contact Coty, because Coty is becoming trained. And because I am very busy with the organization, because I work with all of you every day, I will not continue to train any more people in MFC. Coty will be doing the training. So Coty, he will be now the official trainer. And I am, so to speak, retiring of training, retiring of seeing patients to only grow the organization. And that's my goal, because I want us to grow. And again, we need your help to grow. So if there is people that you think we should invite, let us know. If there is events that you think we should get involved, let us know. If there is something you think we can help you to do your job where you are, let us know. We are here to support you. We do 3 functions in this association. One, we make information on resource available. That's what we do. You have video, you have masterclass, you have a lot of things on the website, and more and more and more that we are putting for you to access. 2, we help each other. And we help each other as a group or individually, and that's what we do. And number 3, what we do is we help to create visibility of our movement on the members. That's all basically what we do. So anything which can help you, or any project, but you might think about people, because, for example, Australia is a big country. We should have people in different regions. We should be in 4 or 5 regions, maybe more. Also, in Australia, you have a lot of people in different fields, acupuncture, acupuncture, breathing, Pilates, alternative medicine, healers, whatever. But all those people who help people to have a better life, we are open for them. The only question is, when we are on 100, that's the magic number. When we reach 100, maybe in less than 2 months, we will have a pause, and we say, how do we grow now from here? Do we want to continue to, because so far we invite people. You don't pay, we don't pay you, you don't pay us. But to grow as an organization, maybe later, we will change the system for the people. And we will maybe go on subscription. We'll be creative. Also, more podcasts. If you do, NG, when you do your event, we will be able to put it also on our own website. That's also something else.
Yeah.
Another thing which is very valuable, we have a little logo. It's a seal. It's the seal of the Mental Wellness Society. And anybody who have a product, an initiative, a device, a service that we can approve, because we need to approve it. We are not going to recommend snake oil, but promoting the dance for the rain, even though in Australia we have a lot to learn from your Aborigine people. So I am humble on that. They can communicate without a cell phone. They can do something I cannot. Okay, but we have a seal of the Mental Wellness Society, the seal of approval. And that seal of approval can help really to make product on initiative more recognized. Also, as a member of the Mental Wellness Society, there is no reason to shy away that you are the local facilitator of the Mental Wellness Society. And you can indicate that, because that will certainly help you to gain recognition and to help people to ask you questions about what is a Mental Wellness Society. On that, we will supply all the documents you need to be able to answer that. Okay, so any question at this point? No? Yes, Koti? Yeah, Koti?
I think two things I would like to highlight. One of them is the opportunity to do some research, PhD, investigation. So this is another dimension we can enhance, and I think it's very, very important. Angie, you wanted to do your study to continue, so this is a good opportunity also.
Yes, definitely.
And another area is we would think about, we are thinking about to do some benefit for another part of this world, to do some human dimension, to create a flow of that wellness to the other part of the world that maybe they don't have any even water every day. We can't forget that a child is dying every 25 seconds because there is no water. So I think if we are talking about mental wellness, this is mental wellness, and now I feel so weird because now we are talking about this coronavirus and we are living a recess, and it's hard for us to live in that way. But I don't remember we were talking before COVID-19, we were talking about how good is our life. Now we are like missing the past, but I don't remember we were so aware of how happy we were now. But don't forget that there's a part of that world that they are living not our research, they are living really in a bad conditions with no water, no any facilities. So I think if we do a mental wellness, we can create that flow to the other part of the world.
On the good, you are right, but on the good part is also that those people who are dirt poor, some of them have a concept of happiness, and it does not stop them. They smile, they are smiling. So we have something to learn from them, because they are in the worst situation, but they know how to smile. And we have everything, and we only know to complain. So that's something we can learn from them. So Koti is speaking about a project we have to teach children in a poor country to carry water on their head from a village to a village. So it makes a problem on the neck, and when they are 50 or 60 years old, they have pain. So we are developing a project. We hope to partner with the Red Cross. Jerry will help us on that, to teach children. And it's very simple. Instead of to look down, they look up. But it avoids to have a problem. So it's a problem of education. Speaking of education, we're also preparing a program for workforce to re-enter the office after COVID, because they have contracted very bad habits, and they became also very feel isolated, isolated, very with themselves, stress, depressive thought. So we realize that the people, workforce, and the teacher and the students have the same problem. They will need to be retrained to go back to the normal environment. And we are working all together on the group to make a program that all of us will be able to deliver everywhere. That will be one of our main immediate program for everybody. So every input is welcome. So with that said, share, I will come back to that. So we spoke about next, we did, good. So what you will receive is this book. You will receive this box of MindEvoke. So they are the tool that you have seen here, the cards. You will receive not the box because it's complicated to send to everybody, but you will receive a PowerPoint. And in a month, you will receive a video giving the explanation on each of them. So it's coming in two parts. Then we are sending you the book about the difference between competency and metacompetence. It's an e-book, and the e-book is e-learning, but multimedia. So if you click, you see video. There is very interesting video. So the difference between competence, competency, metacompetence. Competence focus on particular what. The competency focus on the specific how. A metacompetence is critical to adaptability and focus on critical thinking, self-reflection, conceptualization, reason judgment in decision-making. And that metacompetence is useful in all dimensions of living. When you know that that metacompetence, it's good not just on your job, but on everything you do. So we have 7 competences in the book we are sending you. First one, how to notice. We don't notice things. We often look at things rapidly, and we don't learn to notice and to make in order to make a better decision. Competence 2, metacompetence 2, is knowing your operating system, your whole brain, your brain, right hemisphere, understanding your own emotion, difference between emotion and feeling, first thought, second thought, conscious, subconscious. Okay. Competence 3, determining your destination. If you don't know where you want to go in life, you will never reach it. So everything we start in our method and our philosophy is backward design. We start by the end. And the concept of mental wellness is backward design. You start by thinking what type of well-being you want, and we help you to get there. The metacompetence 4, avoiding the effect of stress. There is a lot of things to know, avoiding tunnel vision effect, how to use the vagus nerve, how to breathe, how good choice reduce stress, how multitasking creates stress. Number 5, how to think. So we show different way of thinking, and we also show what you know well in Australia, the think seeking hat, but in a different way. We have our own approach to de Bono think seeking hat. But thinking hat is important because our method is very sequential, binary, it's an expert system. But at the same time, we teach parallel thinking, which is a 6 hat. Number 6 is binary choice. We are binary. You cannot be home and outside at the same time. You cannot do good and bad at the same time. So things are binary in life. You live or you're dead. You are dead. So that was what Sherry was saying. The purpose of life is one day to die. So, or to live the longest we can, the best we can. So about binary choice. On the last competence, we teach you to put all those competences together. And it gives you exercise on the ways to do it together. I really recommend you spend time on that. My next recommendation also is to communicate with each other. Stop sharing. To communicate with each other, it will be good you get to go to Slacks, because on Slack, and you send me personal message, or Coty, or Jerry, but you can send personal message, or you can ask a message on the general chat. But communication on Slack is good because it stays on the corner of the computer. I can do many things and I can see somebody sending a message. I see it, I will address it, and we will address it. We try to address things as quick we can. So that's really, and also on Slack, eventually, if you are free for a few minutes, I am free for a few minutes, we click on a button and we can have a video conferencing as well. So we can video conference through Slack for a few minutes, a point you want to raise, you prefer to ask instead, you already send few elements on Slack, and then we can talk about it. Okay, do you have any question? Anybody, any question? No, no question? Okay. Are you pleased with the meeting of today?
Yeah, I really enjoyed
Absolutely.
it. It was
Yeah.
excellent.
Okay, so we'll meet in a month again.
I think this
We-
meeting was very, very important. It's really different to see each one of you and to feel you and to talk, even virtually.
And I want to say this meeting confirmed, because I am the only one who knows most of you, but it confirmed this meeting that we all share the same way of thinking about society. We all want to improve it. And by the way, we have something in common, all of them, which relates to the mental wellness society. Preservation of environment, preservation of life, preservation of earth, preservation of ethic, of value, preservation of peace. These are things which are meta competence that we share. So it's very good to be with that group, because it shows that we have common goals and we work together and we will help each other, and we will help that group to become a very important group in the world, because we can help to make legislations as a group, because we will influence millions of people and we can help create legislation. That's what I hope we can do too. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being
Thank
with
you
us.
all very much.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure
Thank
meeting
you.
all of
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Keep in touch.
Likewise.
Keep in touch.
Yes.
Keep in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
day.
Bye-bye.